Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj's Navy is what we are going to talk today. 350th year of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj's coronation the function was held at Raigad, but it is important to talk about his navy also. In the talk today, we will talk about as to what was the need for having a navy for Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. Secondly, we will study the geography of the area where the navy was made. Thirdly, we will find out as to which were the enemies of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj as far as the maritime or the coastal domain was concerned. What were the kind of ships which Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj's navy used? What kind of weapons they used? What kind of tactics they used? What was the need for having so many forts in that area? What purpose did the various forts serve? And what kind of battles Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj fought as far as the naval domain is concerned? These are the various issues that we will talk about today. Firstly, let us start by saying that Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj had understood the importance of naval forces to protect his territories from the dominant naval powers of that time, such as the Portuguese and the Siddis. The Maratha Navy was a part of the Maratha armed forces on which Swarajya was made, and the visionary leadership of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj was evident when he created a formidable navy, establishing naval bases there. During that time, the Muslim rulers who were there in India, they had largely neglected the naval forces and they focused mostly on the land battles. However, the things changed when the Portuguese came and took over control of lot of trade on the western coast. So that is how Shivaji Maharaj realized that unless you have a strong navy, you will not be able to protect your own people. So therefore, Shivaji Maharaj also realized that when he wanted to build a navy, he wanted to take the help from the European people who casted guns, the ammunition experts, but he realized that they were not trustworthy. He had to find his own method of constructing ships, own method of repairing them, own method of maintaining them, and the Ganimi Kawa which he used on the land was also followed at sea. His naval force was fast small ships developed with its own tactics of harassing the much better gunned and better trained ocean-faring European ships. Now look at the geographical area. The Konkan is a stretch of land which is approximately 100 kilometers in breadth, where there are hills, there are rivers which flow into the ocean. There's about, as far as the Maharashtra Konkan is concerned, there are nearly 780 kilometers of Konkan coastline is there. They got lot of creeks which are there because lot of rivers flow from Sahyadri into the Konkan area, which later gets formed into the creeks. The creeks are itself nearly 1000 kilometers long. So lot of creeks are there. Now on one side you have the Arabian Sea, and on the behind you is the Deccan Plateau. The hinterland has got lot of river valleys, etc. And the Western Ghats are also known as the Sahyadri. During olden times, the coastal areas used to have trade with West Asia, with Middle East, etc. Now, who were the enemies as far as Shivaji Maharaj was concerned? The enemy at sea were the Portuguese, the British, and the Siddhi of Janjira. The most important enemy was Siddhi because he was supported by the Mughals. Enemy at sea were Portuguese, who had their bases in Vasai, Daman, Goa, in addition to Mangalore. The British later established their base at Mumbai. The Dutch and the French also had their presence on the western coast, especially at places like Bengal, etc. But the most dominant power was Siddhi of Janjira. Janjira fort was a strong point, and Siddhi had a small navy of 20 galbuts and about 4 gurbas, which used to dominate the Konkan coast. Siddhi himself was not as powerful, but since he accepted the leadership of Adil Shah and Mughals, he became more powerful. Shivaji Maharaj undertook the task of constructing naval bases along the Maharashtra coastline. He organized his fleet into two parts, led by Admiral Mainak Bhandari. While the majority of Maratha Navy consisted of the native Konkani soldiers, there were few Siddis, there were few Portuguese individuals who were there basically for technical reasons. In 1659, the Maratha Navy had about 20 warships. The Marathas also used a Portuguese naval officer to train them. Aim was to get technology from Portuguese and their capabilities, because Portuguese had the most powerful navy at that point of time. Shivaji Maharaj started constructing naval vessels at a creek near Kalyan, and he oversaw establishment of multiple naval bases along the coastline, organizing them into two fleets. And it is said that during the coronation, his navy had become substantial, and he had a formidable fleet consisting of about nearly 500 ships of various types. The Maratha Navy was a versatile and a multifaceted entity, and it served multitude of purposes, including safeguarding of the coastline from invasions, imposing blockades on the enemy ports, facilitating the transportation of troops and supplies, executing raids on the ships of Siddis and others. And the Navy also provided crucial support to the Shivaji's army during the land campaigns, thereby complementing their efforts. The Navy emerged winner in many significant battles. One of the most notable victory was the Battle of Surat in 1664, where the Navy vanquished the Portuguese fleet, ensuring that the security of Maratha coastline against the Portuguese interference. Another battle was Battle of Kolhapur, where Maratha Navy emerged victorious against the Mughal fleet. The Maratha Navy also faced many challenges, but despite many challenges, it played a significant role in the rise of the Maratha Swarajya. Its substantial contribution included protecting the empire, protecting the Swarajya from the enemies, transportation of troops, providing support to the navy, to the army during the campaigns. The tactics employed by the Maratha Navy or the Shivaji Maharaj's Navy was the blockades. The Navy used to block the various enemy ports, effectively disrupting their trade and the supply chain, thereby weakening their economy and military forces. They also conducted raids on enemy shipping, seizing and destroying vessels and cargo, thereby dealing blows to the morale of the enemy as well as the economy. The Maratha Navy also was used for transporting troops for carrying out attacks during various capitals. The Battle of Surat was one of the most well-established use of both the army and the navy. The strength of the Maratha Navy was they were versatile, they showcased their versatility, they were capable of carrying out various diverse roles which was given to them, they were capable of adapting to various situations, they were reasonably well equipped and trained. They had limited experience as far as the open war combat was concerned, but it was ensured that the naval bases on the coastline such as the Vijay Durga, the Kulabaj, the Sindhu Durga played an important role in expanding his naval capabilities. The navy consisted of various vessels including warships, galleys, etc. They were built under the supervision of shipbuilders, both local as well as foreign. They incorporated many innovative tactics and strategies. Shivaji Maharaj's navy was able to fulfill and combat much superior naval forces of the Portuguese and the Siddis. Purely from the point of view of today's talk, I will talk about how the Maratha Navy fought the countering the Siddis of Janjira. Because Siddis of Janjira was the most well-known naval force at that point of time, and they created all kinds of problems both tactically and strategically from the point of view of Shivaji Maharaj. So let us cover the Siddis tactics. Siddhi of Janjira was also known as Siddhi Johar. He was an Ethiopian pirate who became a powerful naval chief in the Siddhi dynasty based in Janjira. It's a coastal fort which is present next to in Maharashtra's coastal areas. He was active during Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj's time. He used combination of naval tactics such as piracy and trade to trouble the people of Konkan. His navy, with its swift and maneuverable ships, conducted raids on the coastal towns, villages, capturing vessels, looting trade routes, and demanding protection from local merchants. They were particularly notorious for their acts of piracy and coastal plundering. The people of Konkan faced significant challenges due to the constant threat posed by Siddis naval forces. Shivaji Maharaj implemented various strategies to confront the Siddhi Navy. One notable tactic was establishing a chain of forts along the Konkan coastline, also called as the Jaldurgas. These Jaladurgas acted as a line of defense and provided a basis for the Maratha naval operations. They played a very important role in hindering the movement of Siddhi Johor's fleet. Shivaji Maharaj led successful naval expeditions against the Siddhi forces. He personally led numerous campaigns demonstrating his strategic brilliance and naval expertise. One was a notable encounter with Janjira. So Shivaji Maharaj's navy employed various tactics to combat the Siddhi forces, including naval expeditions, launching surprise attacks on Janjira and other strongholds. They used guerrilla tactics such as hit and run. They disrupted his naval operations. They conducted ambushes. They carried out blockades. They carried out skirmishes. So despite having a formidable opponent in Siddhi of Janjira, Shivaji Maharaj's navy achieved significant successes in countering Siddhi's activities. They managed to disrupt his naval operations and ensure that the coastal areas of Maharashtra was made much safer. So all in all, Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj's navy was a good navy which was useful during those times. Despite lacking experiences of modern weapons fighting battles in the ocean, they were quite capable of securing the areas from Siddhi, and afterwards it also laid a foundation of a navy which came later, in which the Kanoji Angres and the Angre clan later, including Sambhaji Maharaj, strengthened the navy further. Kanoji Angre took it to great heights, and Kanoji Angre also fought the most modern navy of that time, the Britishers, at an equal footing. So it is courtesy Shivaji Maharaj where a foundation of a great Maratha navy was laid. Thank you and Jai Hind.